Well, Stuart Cox, Physio, back with you. That thing's annoying me outside. That's my oven. Can you hear that? That's my oven. It's touching like a metal element or something. It's just hitting it. It's really going to annoy me if it's doing it all throughout this recording. Okay. Sense of calm. Sense of calm. So today we're going to do physio analysis of a mixed martial artist by the name of Rose Namajaunas. I'm not sure whether she pronounced it that well, Namajaunas, and she's anglicised it. Who really cares? My mate Matty down in Sydney, who's a bit of a fan of hers, recommended I should have a look at her because she's got some interesting abilities, and obviously she's successful is what she does when she gets into the UFC. Let me say that again. She's successful at what she does. In the UFC, I believe she has become a champion. I haven't looked in depth at this. I'm just going to come at it really fresh and see what we see. So we've got a highlights video here. I'm going to watch, we'll watch this one, which is only, what is it, how many minutes is that? 3 minutes 52. All right, let's see what this one's like, and then let's see what Rose Namajaunas, I hope I said that correctly, does for us. All right, let's get this going. Bang. Ads. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so starting. Bang. That's 2 seconds. She's pretty slight. Got a shaved head, round shoulders. That's the sign of a boxer. Someone who shrugs their shoulder forward, left shoulder in particular. So she's obviously regular stance. Okay. Quick hands, good feet. Oh, strong right. Oh, good kick. All right, so good right hip range there. Okay, let's have a look at her. So she's flat foot on the back right foot. So she plants heavily. Oh, big right hand over the top. Good evasive movement. I'm wondering what her background is there. She's got a wider stance than normal, and it looks like possibly she's got a karate background. And she's quick on the takedown, good with the submissions. Alright, let's have a look at some of the finer details here. Alright, I'm going to pause it there at 139. Okay, so what we've seen there so far is that she's obviously got a lot of experience with martial arts, and I'm guessing that she's probably got a background in a wider stance martial arts such as karate or a taekwondo to start with, because she's got that big right kick. She's got good hip flexibility there on the right hand side. She can swing it through, so she's obviously practiced that a bazillion times, which you have to do, especially if you're getting disguised against people like this who are training all the time and they're preparing for what she's got. She's got a big right kick, she's got a good right knee, but it's not like someone like Mirko Cro Cop who's just dominating with just a certain type of kick that you can prepare for. I'm just going to shut this door because that oven is killing me. Apologies for the oven interruption there. Hoo-ha! Okay. Yes, but footwork. Again, as you see with all these guys, skipping ability, good footwork. One of the key things they like to change here when you get into mixed martial arts and some of these sports as opposed to traditional martial arts is they get rid of the dragging foot quite often so that you don't lose your footing and don't trip, because there can be changes in the floor, different, you're not wearing shoes, so they try and train you out of that. The hair in my mouth, that's lovely. So I came from a Wing Chun background before I did any mixed martial arts kind of stuff with Krav Maga, and they were really particular in about not dragging the rear foot. So let's have a look and see whether she's trained out of that as well. All right, let's kick it on. Big left. She's quick. She's got him thinking. From a physio perspective, she doesn't look super flexy. She looks powerful. And she's very good with her submissions. Wow. She's tapped her out there. She's gone. Yeah. All right. We'll pause that there. 226. Okay. So if I was going to try and become a grappler tomorrow, what would I do? Well, for those hugging down movements and for those pulls, obviously you're going to do a lot of pulls in terms of. I'd be doing a lot of rows, a lot of rope work. I'd be even climbing up ropes using your arms like that. So you've got a really ironclad grasp. You've got good hands, you've got good elbows, and you're really good at hugging inwards there. And that's not only the arms, but also her legs must be super strong. Hamstrings, lots of 2-foot bridges, getting the feet up on the ball. You probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. But get the feet up there, baby. Look at that. And really hugging, rolling the ball back and forth so that you can clasp and you can get those feet in there. I can't do it because I'm not that flexible. But hug those feet in and really dig them in. Because it's not only just digging them in to get the pressure. I imagine it's also to get the positioning. But it's also, you want to apply pressure on those lower ribs, like she has here at 227. Pause that, Stuart, when you're editing. You want to pressure those lower ribs because that's on the diaphragm. And it's similar to pressing on someone's diaphragm. If you ever do that in wrestling, oh my God, you can't get up because it is incredible pressure on the diaphragm. So that's what I would be practicing. And I'd be looking to try and pressure those lower ribs, dig my heel in towards the sternum, dig them in those lower ribs, get it underneath there. I don't know if you're allowed to dig your toes underneath ribs, are you? I would. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be trying to dig toes underneath those ribs, really make it uncomfortable, get into the diaphragm. That might be illegal. We can look that up. Make your comments below. All right, and then on top of that, we're talking about anterior oblique sling, which is basically coming down from the pec, and you've also got your obliques down through here and in through the groin. So all that sling through here that you're clasping down with, I'd be doing lots of strength cable pulley work, pulling that hand down towards that hip and really getting that strength in there, especially in that inner range, so that you can really clasp in super strong and just not let go. And they just can't get your grip off. That's what I would be doing because, it's not external, it's not extension-based slings like the long sling along the back there. I forgot the bloody name of it. But anyway, you're focusing more on the anterior slings and the longitudinal and the oblique slings. If you want to do lots of grappling, lots of submission, lots of guard work through there. Okay, let's continue that. I'm gassing already. She looks pretty relentless. Very good at those submissions again. Hugs the legs in. Okay. And if you're going to submit people, know your anatomy. Get used to those arteries. Start feeling them. Look at what you're trying to do. I mean, imagine they do that anyway. But I'd be making sure I know them with my fingers first, even though they don't let you do the finger chokes anymore. All the good stuff's gone. No stomping. Quick left. Quick hands, like the Pac-Man. Boom. And she got great weaving. Alright. To get that weaving back and forth, you need flexibility. And some people just do not work enough on extension of their thoracic spine so that they can duck their head back, they can open up. I'm not a great example. My thoracic is rubbish. But, you know, you want to be doing some cobras and some thoracic extensions so that when someone swings at you, you know, you're ducking back. It's not coming from the neck necessarily. It's just literally a sway back in the chest. So yeah, get on your tummy, get the hands under the forehead, and just start bringing it up so that you can just start to get feeling between your shoulder blades. Get some of that extension back, because people tend to hinge in their thoracolumbar spine and in their neck and just skip over the thoracic. So that's what I'd be working on. You're almost like a surfer. You really want that nice banana bend, even spinal extension curve. So while I've talked about the anteriors, this is where the extension that comes from those posterior slings. Here, don't do that. 324. Let's play again. She's smashing that Joanna bird. I've seen her before. Oh, left hand, drop a rolly. Oh, it's all over. She is pretty lean, and she doesn't look that threatening, but geez. You got on the wrong side of her. She definitely know how to land one on your chin. All right, that is the end of that video. So, Rose Namajaunas, definitely a very, very capable athlete. Looks like she's enjoying it too, which is part of the battle in sport. You know, a lot of people just lose the love of it, and if you're enjoying it, you're going to do well. One thing that is often sad to see is when people go into professional level sport and they lose the enjoyment of the sport. They're no longer playing the game, they're just doing the sport. And I think that's one thing that you can really see. Yes, it's a competition. Yes, it's a profession in this case. But if someone really enjoys it and has fun doing it and can see the play behind their activity, then they're more likely to do well. Yeah, sure. This is a pretty serious game. You get your head knocked in, you get knocked out, you know, you get lots of injuries. It's not, for most people, a long-term career, and also it's something that's very serious when you talk about the risks that you have with cerebral damage. Still a lot known on that. You know that the research published on that is disputable because a lot of those people who were put forward with the chronic traumatic CTE for the movie Concussion, that was based on that. Look, most of those people were put forward because they had major mental issues and depression and committed suicide, so their brains were studied. So it's a bit of a, you know, of course they're going to highlight those things, whereas they didn't do all the people who didn't have depression. They didn't study all the brains of the people who didn't commit suicide. So it's a bit of a skewed sample, if you ask me. Anyway, there's more on that. You can read up on that. Tell me your own opinions. I'll read the comments anyway. But yes, Rose, definitely capable, super strong, super quick. Work on that speed work. Get that tennis ball thingy that, what's his name? Vasyl Lomachenko does for his hands. Get those hands really quick. But do not neglect flexibility, through the thoracic spine. She doesn't use her neck that much. She's ducking with her spinal extension and getting out the way there. But also when she gets those hooks in, she gets those grips down, she is super strong. So look at your core strength, look at your oblique slings, and yeah, everything from hip flexors, adductors, pecs, and then work on also everything in the elbows, forearms, and that's so that you can really clasp in strong. And that would be, I would even say some really good stuff would be even just some like half range pull-ups with different grips, pulling in different angles, grabbing some rings, getting in tight, not doing full extension, but rather more inner range strengthening. That's what I would be really making sure I've got. And I'd have a bit of endurance too, because you can see some of those holds they're going for, up to 20, 30 seconds. And she's really, you want to have something that no one else has, and you want to be able to apply a pressure that they're not used to. Because I imagine they practice with a lot of people, but if you do something different and you've got a different level of strength when it comes to that kind of inner range ability that she's using, it could be the difference between winning, or else make the person making to the end of the round and getting through, I'd imagine. All right. Well, Matty boy, thanks for the referral for Rose. Any of you guys out there with mixed martial arts, people, there are plenty of, I'm a big fan of the MMA, not so much now, but I used to love my old Pride back in the day. And I'm really interested to see if you can find someone who hasn't really been picked up on by the media as such. We've all seen the Conor McGregors and the Johnny Joneses and things like that. But I'd be really keen to see if someone goes, have a look at someone really different from Thailand or Singapore or Romania or something like this. Throw me one if you've got one. All right, like, subscribe, all the usual deals, or don't like, or don't subscribe. I don't know. Just give me an opinion and throw me some suggestions. I'm open ears. No one's perfect in this game, and I'm sure there's always room for improvement, as there is with all these people here, and as there is with all of our training. We never know it all. All right, thanks very much. Stuart Cox, physiotherapist here. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers, see you later. That oven's quiet now, that's good. Hopefully my chicken's done.